My husband would book his 8-hour Saturdays for golf, 8 hours.
8 hours?
Well,
Dude, 8 hours?
He's not going to golf.
Dude, he's a fast golfer because it at least takes 10. Hey, y'all, Coach here with Golfing with Coach. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another podcast. We have a special one in the house. And again, I didn't know where this lady was at. I didn't know she was in Texas. I didn't know she was in Washington. I didn't know where she was at because I always screw up the time zone stuff. I don't know why. Probably one of the key questions I need to ask when I do a podcast is what time zone they're in. But anyways, we have Swings and Sass in the house. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I was in Central Time, but now I'm in Pacific Time. So I switched it up.
Washington.
Yes.
There you go. I'm actually getting ready to move to Washington in about a year or so.
Oh, really? Whereabouts?
Vancouver.
Oh, nice. All right, you're pretty close. We actually can see Canada from our house, so we look out at Victoria, the island. Yeah.
Awesome. So, how long have you been golfing for?
Well, consistently for about a year. I got my first set of clubs, per my husband's encouragement, a little over a year ago. Prior to that, I had done like mini golf. I had done around here and there with friends, obviously no practice, nothing. And then about a year ago, really started taking it seriously. And I found a group of women in my community that were also interested in golf. So I felt like I had, some support, and we were all not good. We didn't know the rules. We just sort of put ourselves out there, out of our comfort zones, and decided to go for it. And I quickly realized how much I love it, and that I was kind of hooked. And it was one of those things, my husband would book his 8-hour Saturdays for golf, 8 hours.
8 hours?
Well,
Dude, 8 hours?
He's not going to golf.
Dude, he's a fast golfer because it at least takes 10.
So it was a way for us to also maybe find something to do together. My father-in-law golfs, my whole family, on my husband's side golfs. And so it was just one of those things where I was like, I think I could do that. And I've been an athlete my whole life. I've played softball since I was 9. I played volleyball. I was a gymnast. So I've got that like athletic spirit.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, seriously, about a year.
Okay. Why social media? Why go ahead and just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to start this golf journey that I don't know anything about golf. We're going to start it. And you know what? We're just going to throw it out there on the internet for the whole world to see.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of reasons, actually. One is, so I have another social media account. So I do some content creation and UGC stuff there that's more lifestyle focused.
Right.
And also it was accountability, right? Like watching myself on film, I was just like cringing at my form and all of these things. And then I was watching the Full Swing on Netflix, and they were filming Happy Gilmore too. And I kept seeing like golf influencer or golf content creator. And I was like, how are these folks getting out on the course with Adam Sandler and like all professional golfers? And so I was like, why won't I do that? And then I quickly realized that I think female in golf was sort of underrepresented. And there was sort of this wave of, women beginners kind of jumping into that space too. And then it's also evolved into something so much more. Like I've built community. I've actually met up with a couple folks that are in Austin that I met through my social media account, and we've golfed together. I'm doing a tournament in November with some folks from the East Coast that are in my golf community on Instagram. So it really has evolved into so much more than I ever even imagined. And that's kind of kept me going.
Crazy how that works out.
Yeah, it's been really.
We're on a podcast right now.
I know.
I mean, and that's the crazy thing. And that's kind of how I started too. I was a race car driver for years and retired from that. And I was like, my brother-in-law golfs, and I've always kind of liked golf. I did it years ago. I tried it a couple times when I was younger, and I was like, you know what? I want to learn how to play golf. And so I just, from the beginning, I put the camera in front of me from the beginning. You know, I documented my last year I raced, just because I knew this was my last year. And so I was like, well, I kind of like the, the TikTok part of it and the Instagram part of it. And so I kind of just followed right into my golf journey. Never had, any aspirations to do a podcast or any of that stuff. It was just me documenting my golf journey. And, it's not exploded, not yet. I'm hoping, but it kind of evolved from that.
Well.
So I have played
my How long have you been golfing?
2.5 years.
Okay.
I started January 2023. Yeah, okay. I was 46 years old, and I was like, you know what? I'll at least try it. And then I don't know, I fell in love with it. I'm addicted to it. We'll put it that way.
Yes.
And which, for me, and I don't know how it worked out for you, but golf had given me so much more than just the game of golf. I look back and I look at my, from 2 years, I was a fat ass 2 years ago. Like I really was. Like, so it really helped with the mental side of things. And then also, I didn't like the way I looked on camera. So I started, dieting, started eating right, going to the gym. And all that is from me starting golf, 2.5 years ago. And so I think golf just brings so much more than just the game of golf.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think this journey has also been like extremely therapeutic. I also have had some recent weight loss in the last year and a half. I've lost about 50 pounds.
How was I lost?
But yeah, but it was also like being a mom. I have a 5.5-year-old son, and I sort of devoted all of it, and I lost myself in that. And, was so focused on being a mom that I think golf has also given me something for myself where I can still be an athlete, but it's also something I've recovered from some sport related injuries that, obviously I can't play softball and I can't be a gymnast at 43 years old, right. But, golf is something I can do forever. And I've also tried getting my son into it because it's something that I can see us having a future together doing. And, so it's been so much more than just the actual game. It's been a emotional journey, and it's been so healing, in so many ways.
Yeah, it's especially with the athlete. I was an athlete myself, and I played football. I played high school ball, and I went on and played 7 seasons at the semi-pro level, and then I've been coaching football. This is my 25th and last year of coaching. 25 years. And it was a sport that now could I continue racing at 49, 50? Obviously, no big deal. But I have a buddy who's 75 years old, and he kicks my ass every time. And he hits the ball just as far as I do, if not further. Most time he hits it farther than I do off a tee, and he's 75 years old.
Yeah.
So that's why golf is such a great sport, because we can play it and keep playing it. Now, we're going to play it at the level we're playing it at now. 20 years from now, probably not. But if it was like my buddy Tom, and he's probably playing the best golf of his life right now, and he's now 76.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great. That's just kind of a cool thing about golf.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned girls in golf, and this is a topic that I want to. I really like getting into, because I thought we were like. The way I thought about girls in golf, and we'll even go as far as different races. I thought we were there. We've come a long ways, and I got to do a podcast with a couple of buddies of mine, the Beetle Boys, Boys in Outfield. And it kind of made me realize, like, no, we've come a long ways, but we still have a long ways to go. And we talked numbers. 40% of the new golfer, or 40% of golfers on the golf course right now are women. 40%, which
I feel like that's unprecedented. Like, it's crazy.
That's crazy, because 10 years ago that was not the case.
Yeah. Maybe I would say 5 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Why do you think that is? Why do you think, and it's probably because of, I know COVID is the go-to answer, but why do you think girls have jumped in this, and let's face it, this was a man's world. I mean, I don't know, 50, 60 years ago, girls weren't allowed in clubhouses, you know?
Yeah.
So
Well, I would say like even 10 years ago, just thinking about, sorry, go ahead.
Go on.
Oh, I was going to say, I think even just like 10 years ago, just thinking like the inclusivity piece, like I wouldn't have imagined going out on a golf course by myself as a solo, 5 years ago. I think it's also probably social media, but I think you mentioned COVID too. I know that's when my best friend, she's a very good golfer, and she just picked it up during COVID because it was a way to be outside. And I think more people sort of started flocking to the sport. But I do think social media has had a big impact because we see other females out there doing the same thing. And, they look like us, or I think there's also an element of the community around it. It feels less intimidating than it did 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But I think a lot of it has to do with just the awareness and visibility. I mean, social media has given us a lot of things, if not like everything's in your face all the time. And so now you're seeing more females golfing, more females out on the golf course, more females putting themselves out of their comfort zone, wearing cute outfits, doing this, that, the other. And it kind of opens doors to say like, well, I can do that too. Like that could also be me. And like I said, that was part of one of the reasons why I was like, okay, I'm going to put myself on camera. It's a little intimidating because I didn't like how I swung. I just felt really uncomfortable and awkward, but that's also helped me grow and feel more confident in my game. I mean, I even just went and golfed. Now I've done it twice, but like my own solo round, like I didn't have anybody to golf with, but I just said, screw it. I want to go golfing. I'm going golfing. And it was scary, but I did it.
I got to team up with a girl one time, and that's exactly what it was. She was out golfing by herself, and we just happened to have the same tee time. And, it was cool. Like, she was a beginner golfer, and again, I'm a 15 handicap, so I'm not a great golfer at all by any means. I mean, I always say I'm a 15, well, I'm a 14-3, it says now, but I'm a 15 handicap that plays like a 20. It is what it is. But it was fun. Like, so I'm gonna lead off of that. Like, do you feel like you still get treated maybe a little bit differently? Like, let's say I would going by yourself or just going in the golf community, going out there. Do you feel like when you walk in, you think it's a lot more? I don't want to use these words, but social acceptable. I hate that because that's bad words for it. It's not the right words for it. But
it's reality. Yeah, I think that is a reality. Like I was joking. I actually had a post about it. I went out by myself and I got paired up with two older gentlemen, and they kept asking me why I wasn't at work today. Why aren't you at work today? And I asked my husband, I said, have you ever been asked why you're not at work today when you're on the golf course? And they kept saying like, oh, if you keep it up, you'd be a really good golfer. And I was like, I am a golfer. Or no, they said you could be a golfer. And I said, well, I am a golfer. I'm out here golfing. Therefore, that makes me a golfer. Like, I don't have to be good to be a golfer. But it was just, and they're old school. I get it. They were probably in their late 70s, early 80s. And they were very supportive and very friendly. But I think it's just a mind shift, like a mindset that was just different. We have like I said, 3 or 4 girls that go in Austin, and we've gone in and, there's all I don't know if it's the league or whatever, local clubhouse where we walk in and it's just sort of like all the heads turn like, oh, here comes 4 women golfing. And I'm like, so there are little differences. It doesn't bother me. I think it's just, again, it's different perspectives. And because golf is now becoming more inclusive, I think it's shifting. But I do think there is an element of it's a little bit different.
I would say so too. Now, again, I've never been, for me, I've never looked at women that way because I've raced against women. I've had when I was coaching football. In fact, my head coach I coach high school football. But the head coach, she's a female that I coached when she was a freshman. My mom was a mechanic for a while. So I get like, I've never, for me, and it's probably stemmed from my mom, being a mechanic and stuff back in the day. I never kind of looked at it that way, and I never have. But I do know that other men do, and I do see that. But for me, it's never been. I don't know. I raced against girls. You know, like to me, it's never been a big deal. But I do see I do see where uh, girls do get treated a little bit differently. Maybe not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's come a long ways, but I still think we have a long ways to go as well.
Yeah. What's the adage? Like golf is gentlemen only, ladies forbidden, or something like that.
And it was something like that. But when we talk social media, and females, they just have such how should I say? I feel like they have an advantage over me. Like she's and I'm not going to mention her name, but she puts out almost the identical content that I do. Okay. She's very attractive, and her numbers are crazy. And I'm like, it's the exact same video almost. But again, I don't feel that's a bad thing either, because all it's going to do is help draw more females in and the younger crowd in, to exception. Exception. I do think with social media, and this is I'm kind of old school in some ways, that I still think it's a gentleman's club, and I don't mean, or a gentleman's game, and I don't mean that as a male or female thing. I say gentleman as there's still, I don't know how to say it, but certain
history and etiquette that needs to be
that has to still be a part of it, and that's why that's what I mean by that. I know gentleman's not the correct word, but that's kind of where it was before. There was etiquette, and there was all these. There were certain rules, and there was reason why they did things, and I don't want to lose that. I don't want to lose that to a point. And I think with social media now, you see guys out there wrecking golf carts, just being stupid on the course. And I think when they see that on the internet, it's going to happen.
I'm a traditionalist. I think you should wear a collared shirt. I think there are rules and history and tradition of the game that, I personally uphold. And I think when I first got into this social or content thing, it was like you'd see, some people out there that maybe it wasn't just about the game, it was about looks or whatever. And that was something I wanted to try and be really mindful of with my content too, was it wasn't just it's about my game and about my progress and about the love of the sport. It's not about my my looks, which I feel like sometimes it's, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but you get it. I'm a traditionalist.
Right. So we'll touch bases on this a little bit with looks. I always say there's a couple different golfers out there, and I always call them the Instagram model golfers, or the OnlyFans golfers.
There you go.
What's your take on that? Because I know again, collar shirts and all that stuff, and cute outfits and fashion, that all plays a huge role in golf, and I understand that. But do you think there's a line that has to be drawn and say, okay, you probably shouldn't be wearing this out there, or something like that? Or how do you look at that?
I mean, to each their own. I'm never going to tell anybody what they should or shouldn't wear. It's all about my own personal preference. It doesn't make me uncomfortable. It just sort of is. If that's your thing, that's not my thing.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe we have different goals in mind, or maybe different objectives. It doesn't bother me per se, but again, I'm old school. I'm an older millennial, if you will.
Right, you are. I'm a Gen X, so.
Well, I'm kind of on the cusp. They call us centennials. I didn't have a cell phone until I was 20. I grew up with a typewriter in school.
Right.
So, there's definitely some core values I think that are very different. But I mean,
this is how I see it. As long as you're not taking away the integrity of the game, do what you got to do. If you're there for clicks and you're there to again, there's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place for everything. I'll just leave it at that, for sure. Now we talk fashion and golf, and I'm a huge fashion guy. I'm almost a 50-year-old that has tons of pairs of golf shoes. I mean, countless pairs of golf shoes.
I mean, you need more than two?
I got I'm staring at 17 pairs right now.
Okay. All right.
I got like 70 polo shirts now.
Maybe you need to start posting your fashion.
Right? I guess. I don't know. But I'm huge because I've always been a firm believer that if you look good, you feel good, you play good. I've always been that's kind of been but sometimes my shirts are loud. Like they walk up and like, oh, there's my buddy. He's not like this at all. He's very conservative, very to himself, and kind of blends in type of guy. And here I'm with a loud ass shirt, and he's like, you just gotta be the center of attention. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, no, it's not about that. But what's your take on fashion? Because I know you kind of digging that a little bit yourself. Yeah. What's your take on fashion and golf and how the social media has kind of worked in all that? And,
Oh, I'm here for it. Like, I love it. I kind of have both. I've got sort of the neutral, muted, traditional, and I've got my leopard, golf shirt that, yeah, I think I'm the same, like look good, feel good. And that's a big thing for me when I go out on the course is not only am I comfortable, but also like, do I feel good in what I'm wearing? Do I, look good because it's going to make me in my head feel like I'm playing better. I love it. I think with all of the, there's golf brands popping up everywhere, whether it's, female owned or whatever it is, but the female golf fashion has just exploded. Exploded. And, I love it. Like, I love it. I need to stop shopping, because I too am getting a little out of control, but.
Is that such a thing though? Come on, really?
I guess maybe I just need more tea time so that I can wear all of the outfits.
Right. Yes, for sure. I mean, I might be literally golf for 3 months straight every single day and not wear the same shirt.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I should try that one time and see.
You should.
And you got I do the whole thing. It's the shoes have to match, the shirt, the belt, the hat. I mean, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
And I
have different shoes to match the outfit depending on whether they're, what shade.
And I've always kind of thought to myself that I was kind of a manly man. I've been a football coach all these years, played football, ride Harleys. And here I am the night before at a golf tournament, making sure everything matches, making sure I look on point when I leave the house. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, I've always considered myself a bit of a tomboy just because I grew up with uncles and my mostly around men and males in my family. I was an athlete from a young age, so I've always considered myself a bit of a tomboy. And golf has kind of opened up a new door where I can still feel athletic and strong, but I can also like tap into that feminine side. I think that's, I hadn't really actually thought about that until just right now, but that is a big piece of it too, is like still feeling strong and athletic, but also like adding this feminine touch, that kind of gives me that balance.
For sure. I would say for sure. I think that's some of the attraction for women. They get to go, I mean, they get to go and look at this, and there's some really cool stuff out there for women. I'm like, it really is. It's, really, and I think that's part of it too, is like these companies are popping up and all these fashion companies popping up or golfers are doing their own thing and, making their own brand and stuff. Like I'd say cute stuff out there for women. So I think that's part of the attraction for golf. They get to go and kind of dress up and be cute and stuff, but still go out and do, be active outside and enjoy the outdoors. And so, yeah, I think fashion has a lot to do with the growth of golf as well right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I can still, in my mind, like I can still be a competitor and an athlete, but I can also, look cute doing it.
Right. Yeah. I agree 100%. Yeah. What is your go-to drink on the course?
Ooh. I always start with a Bloody Mary. Usually because I have early tee times.
Okay.
A lot of the times I just drink water, but otherwise maybe it's a seltzer. I just had, and I'm totally going to screw this up. What's the master's drink? The transfusion. I just had my first transfusion, and the day that I drank transfusion was the day that I got my first birdie. So that may be my new go-to.
I never had one until about a year ago when I was up at a member's guest with my brother-in-law. They belong to a country club up in Washougal, Washington, which is just like 15 miles east of Vancouver. And he goes, "God, I'm trying transfusion. You want transfusion?" I'm like, I had no clue what he's talking about, and he gave it to me, and they were really, really good. Since then, I have stopped drinking totally, but yeah, transfusions are amazing.
Did you have it with vodka or tequila?
Yes.
Which one?
Yes. With both. Well, I had. We'll just say I had several that day, and I had them both ways. So, yeah, it was a drinking. We were drinking and a golf match broke out type deal. You know.
Okay. Now, yes. Do you golf better or worse after some cocktails?
You know, I haven't drank in 7 months. So, you know, before I used to have one just kind of loosen up and kind of, you know, get the juices flowing and stuff. So yeah, I would think, yeah, like when you'd have like one, I think I probably warmed up quicker, if that makes sense. You know, like I always say the first 3 holes, you don't know what you're going to get out of me. But after I warm up, you know, I consistently suck at that point. But, you know, again, yeah, I would say that when I had one, but I kind of learned now, different stretches and stuff before the round. But do I miss having a beer with your boys after the round or during the round? Yeah. But, you know, that's what they have non-alcoholic beer for.
Yeah.
I get made fun of, but, you know, it's just, I like the taste of beer. I really do. And, so I just drink the non-alcoholic stuff, and I get shit all the time for it, but I just don't choose to drink, you know, so.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm usually, you know, if we have a 8:30 or a 9 o'clock tea time, I feel like it's probably a little too early, but some would agree.
But, I mean, can a Bloody Mary really be considered an alcoholic drink? Like, I think that's like, I think, I don't know. I just don't, I think it should be like part of breakfast.
Okay. All right, I'll take it.
What's your go-to snack on the course?
Oh gosh, I'm known as like the snack mom. So I've usually always got like mixed nuts in my bag. I've usually got beef sticks, string cheese. Those are sort of my go-tos. I'm a snacker. I'm not like a hot dog at the turn kind of girl. I'm like I just like snacks.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of whatever snacks I can fit in my bag.
I'm like a granola bar or like protein bar type guy, you know, for sure. And I always have been. I'm not a big hot dog guy by any means. So, but kind of like I said, nuts, protein bars, stuff like that, you know, kind of healthier stuff, but kind of keep me going. So what is, your dream foursome?
My dream foursome. Oh, Gabby Golf Girl. I love her.
Okay.
I think that would be really fun. Oh, this is tough. I really like Tony Finau. I just think he would be fun to play with.
Okay.
Is this throwing you for a loop?
No, these are 2 answers I have never gotten so far. So yeah.
Gabby Golf Girl. She's a trickster. She does lots of tricks.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, I think her energy. She seems chill, but also like, you know, good vibes. I mean, Rory. I think that would just be, you know, I'm sure you get that one all the time.
Actually, not very often. You know, I get my dad is the number 1 answer, and Tiger Woods. You know, and which is cool. Like that's awesome. But I don't think playing around with Tiger Woods would be all that fun.
No, I mean, I already suck. I don't want someone just showing me that I suck more.
I just don't. And maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe again, I he may be a totally different guy, but to me, it looks like a guy that's kind of goes out and takes care of business and not very. Again, I don't know. I don't know.
Rory's probably the same way. I mean, I'm all about like, I want to have fun. Obviously I want to try and get better and it's about progress, but like when I go out, I check out and I'm in a different place and I'm focused on the course. And I think just having a good time and like letting loose a little bit. So for me, it would be all about the vibes. Like I think Bryson would be fun to golf with because he seems like a good.
I think Bryson would be cool.
Yeah.
So mine would be Trent Ryan from Foreplay Golf, and Frankie Borelli from Foreplay Golf. Just because Trent is from Iowa. I'm from Iowa. We both started golf about the same time. We both kind of had almost the same handicap. One of the nicest guys. They say he's the nicest guy in YouTube golf. And then Frankie Borelli is the ultimate hype man. Like he is the ultimate hype. If you ain't gonna come with that energy, I don't want it because that's just how awesome he is. And Bobby Fairway from Bob Does Splits. I just think that, and then they've all golfed together several times. I just think it would be a blast to golf with those guys, and it'd be a lot of fun. I mean, I think it'd just be a lot of fun with those. And it's 40.
Make that happen. I feel like that's obtainable.
I don't know. I don't know. They got they're a million followers and stuff. They're wanting money to play with. I mean, you're going to have to pay them money to play with you now. I just think it's the way it's set up with them now. So, I ain't paying. I mean, I'll pay for the rounds, but I ain't paying anybody to play with me. I just don't. That's just not me. You want to play golf? Let's go play golf. That's cool, but I'm not going to spend. I'm not paying you to come play golf with me. Just like, and I know at certain points in this, if this podcast blows up, that's gonna come up. You know, all those big podcasts, they're paying their guests and come on there. So they're not just coming on they're paying them to come on their court on their show. So, but I don't know. To me, right now, I'm not paying for anybody to play golf with me. You know, I'll pay for the round, but
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So, far as you kind of obviously answered the question, like, do you follow YouTube golf and the PGA and the Live, and is that you consume that way as well?
I consume, yeah. It's not, again, I'm not as knowledgeable as I should because I'm still in my learning phase, but I definitely, if there's golf on, it's on in the background and I'm stopping and checking out what's going on. I kind of binged the whole swing, and that's what sort of sparked something in me. I was like, man, this looks like a fun lifestyle. Like these guys are out there having fun. You know, they look good. They're playing well. They're having fun with each other. And that's sort of like, I think what lit a little bit of a spark. And then, just kind of getting out there. And my husband has been so supportive. He's just like, when's your next tee time? When are you getting back out there? So he's also been really encouraging and getting me out on the course as well. So I consume as much as I can. Like I said, I've got this other sort of content journey that I'm on. And once I started Swings and Sass, I've realized I'm so much more motivated and passionate about Swings and Sass. And so there may be a fork in the road where I decide to just pursue the golf content because it's much more natural to me.
Right.
I'm not worried about what do I post or, so that's been an interesting evolution there.
Right.
I mean, my background, FYI, I came from corporate America. I was a corporate tech recruiter at Amazon for years. And that's actually what relocated us from Washington to Texas. I got an opportunity post-COVID and so went down that journey. And then about 3 years ago, decided to stay home and spend some more time with my son before he goes to school. was kind of getting back into, okay, well, what's next? Like, can I go back into that corporate operations world? And I started just kind of getting anxiety about it. Like, I don't know if I could do that anymore. And so then I started seeing this monetize social media. How do you do this? And kind of that's where this content journey came in, because I've always been much more creative. And so this is sort of like the path that I've been on. And it's also led me to golf.
Cool.
Yeah.
Corporate America. I got opinions about that, but that's a whole nother we could do a whole nother podcast about that.
Oh, we definitely can.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of big corporate corporations. I just not. But that's a whole nother.
Yeah, we'll get there, Coach.
I will say, obviously, I hate to say it, but big corporate do make life easier for us, and I get it, but I'm a little old school too. So any chance I get to support mom and pops, I do. I'd much rather go to a mom and pop restaurant over a big, chain.
Yeah.
So what is your golf goals this year? Since the year's almost half over, but
yeah. My goal, obviously my first birdie was like not expecting it, but it happened. And I was there with my best friend, who's sort of my like impromptu golf coach. She's taught me pretty much everything I know. And it was her birthday, and we were golfing for her birthday, and that's when I got my first birdie. But my goal this year is to break 100. So I am consistently shooting like 107, 110 around, which is shit. But
not really. Think about it. If you look at the statistics, I think only 20% of the golfers or 25% of the golfers ever break 100.
Yeah.
Think about it that way.
I didn't know that.
You got to think about it that way. Like, if you look at the statistics, once you're shooting 110 and stuff. We all started there. Unless you come out there and you're just a freak of an athlete, you go out there and you just start. You're just good naturally. We all were shooting 110, 115s, and I remember I shot a 125, and I was probably playing for about 4 months at that time, and I was shooting like low hundreds, and went out and shot a 125, and I almost quit that day. So it happens. So
yeah, so that's my goal for the rest of the year, is obviously focus on my form. I've been working on sort of breaking my softball habits as they apply to golf, because I come in and I'm all power and I'm all arms, and that's not golf.
That's hard.
It's different mechanics for sure.
Yeah, do you follow birdies in the outfield? If you don't,
I do, yeah.
So I just golfed with them last week. And they've been on my podcast and stuff, and they're old baseball players. Yeah, they're not old, but they're baseball players. They used to be baseball players, and we talked about that. Talked about how they approach their swing and everything, and they said everything up to the swing is about the same as baseball. When you're standing in the dugout or you're standing on deck, and you're thinking about the pitches and stuff like that, and you're just kind of getting everything, your mindset and everything. It was kind of the same approach to golf. A golf shot, he goes, except for that swing. He goes, this swing is just different. Because for me, I played competitive softball when I was younger, and it's getting that out to in swing, which is not a normal baseball swing, unless you want to take it to the right field. But for me, I went to right field. I just led my hand a little bit high. When I was playing, if I wanted to go right, I led with my hands a little bit more. Was that the right way to do it? I don't know, but it worked. So, but he said the golf swing there's some similarities, but the differences are really hard habits to break, because it's quite opposite of what you were.
I'm getting in my head, it's the bat is your power, and your arms and whatever. And so it's funny, because my friend, she's always like, let the club do the work. Like, you don't have to swing it so hard. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you have to crush it. And sometimes it's a good one where it just soars, like I've hit my driver maybe 180, which I felt pretty good about, but it was just pure power and luck. So I'm really working on the mechanics of my golf swing and like really focusing on my form so that I can be more consistent. And I've seen the progress. So
that's the hardest thing, because I'm the same way. I'm a football coach. Explosive, like you explode through somebody, explode off the line. You know, and we use the word explosive a ton in football, and I like explode through the ball, and I'm like, no. And so I'm out this morning, and that was one thing I focused on was just do not swing hard. Yep. Do not swing hard, like because I've been lifting weights and everything, so all my numbers are changing and everything naturally. But now I'm just trying to get after it, and I'm like, stop.
Yeah.
Just relax. Let the club be.
It's hard as an athlete to take that out of your head. Like, I think golf is so much about finesse that.
Then you watch these guys on TV, and they look like they're so smooth, but it's so fast, and you're like, how?
Yeah.
How?
That weirdo, like when I go to the driving range or wherever, I'm always just sort of like side-eyeing to watch people swing because I'm so curious, like, and every swing is so different, and what works for some doesn't work for others. And so like I'm always just kind of watching to see, oh, maybe I should try this, or maybe I should try that, or my hand placement or this. So I'm constantly trying to fine tune and tweak things and figure out what's working for me.
So you know what I do? And this is the egotistical a-hole in me. I'll be working on my irons, right? And so I'm just going to work on my irons. That's all I'm going to work on. And I see a guy come up and pull his driver out, and he smacked it pretty good out there. I'm like, walking back, grabbing and I'm like smacking the shit out of the ball. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm not in competition with that guy. Like, I've caught myself more than once. I see a guy hitting it. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll go grab my driver. And because I hit the driver pretty darn, like, I'm not a big guy. I'm 5'8", 175-pound guy. You know, I'm not a big guy, but I can put the ball out there pretty good on my. So I always, it's just egotistical, probably the little man syndrome in me. I grab the driver.
Competitors, that never goes away.
And I go out there and I start smacking and try to hit it try to hit it farther than that guy does.
Yeah.
What? Why? And I'm like the fourth swing. I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, this is stupid. Like, so I go put it back and I go back to the irons, but it's in me that do that, and I don't know why. But
I think that's a very natural inclination. Like, that's
like, yeah.
I do it too. If I'm out there, I took my son to the driving range out here on Whidbey Island a couple weeks ago, and obviously it's all men, just me and my 5-year-old who's sitting there watching me and trying to help me. And I got so much satisfaction out of crushing the ball. And I could see there was a couple older gentlemen being looking back, and I was just like, yeah, I see you watching me. So there's something there. I don't know if it's healthy or not.
So what is your plans with the channel? You just keep doing what you're doing, or what's your plans with it?
Honestly, I haven't. I mean, the plan was to sort of hold myself accountable and learn more about the sport. So obviously I started following people that were giving tips and watching and consuming that way. And then it kind of evolved into following other accounts. Like, I find Karina Tries Golf and Bessie whatever. And
awesome.
Yeah, she really is. And then, so it was watching them and their content. I was like, oh, I'm a very sassy, sort of sarcastic individual. And how can I sort of parlay that into my golf content? And so I don't really know where it's going. Obviously, yeah. So I'm still kind of figuring that out. I'm new on this journey. I just started Swingsandsass maybe 5 months ago.
That wasn't very long.
Yeah. So it hasn't been very long. Yeah. I mean, it's been such an awesome experience. I've already met so many amazing people and had so much support. So the golf community
it's so awesome.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I've met so many people. I've met Karina. I've met the Back Nine Besties, Golfing Princess, Golf Father Tom. I mean, I've met all these people in person now, and it's so fun because you get to meet these people online, and you're calm on each other or whatever, and just trying to support each other and all that. And then this is one of the reasons why I started this podcast, because I want to know, is this guy who he is this the same guy?
Yeah.
that you see on on TikTok and YouTube. What's this guy or what this person's all about? And that was one of the biggest reasons why I started this, because I wanted to see, just to see who these people really were. And so when I got the chance I went out to LA and golfed in a golf tournament, and there was probably 20 golf content creators there. And people I've been following and calling, that's just a lot of fun. It's just to meet people and so far, every person I've met so far, it's who they are,
Yeah. Well, so the golf tournament that I have in November in Austin, Rustic Golf Provisions. So Aaron from that is starting a team. So it's the 100-hole hike. Anyway, so he's somebody that I've, followed and love his content. And I actually will get to golf with him in November. So it's just, yeah, I'm super excited.
It's awesome.
Doors opening and like the connections that I'm building. So who knows, 6 months from now, it may be in a different place, but I'm really excited to be on this journey.
Yeah, it is fun, man. Especially when you start meeting other content creators and stuff. That, to me, that's what makes it really fun. I've been like 2 different tournaments where there was content creators. I met people like Chicago, Pennsylvania, obviously California, just people you would never ever run into. And this is an opportunity where everybody connects and we all kind of have the same common ground, the same common goals, really. We all love to get huge on this platform. Yeah, we would. But I don't know if that's all of our goals. I know some people, that is their goal. And so you just got to do what you got to do to help support and get to that goal.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Would I love to golf and make money doing it? Whether that's through, brand collabs or whatever, like, sure, but that wasn't originally what this was intended for. It was more about holding myself accountable. So yeah, who knows?
What's your favorite course you've played on so far?
Favorite course? Well, I just played West Seattle golf course 2 weeks ago. That's where I got my birdie on the 6th hole. Mm-hmm. It is beautiful because I think it's the 14th hole. You just get the whole entire background of, the skyline of Seattle is just gorgeous. You literally have these vistas. It's hard. It's hilly. So I didn't golf very well, but did I have a great time? It's beautiful. In Texas, it's interesting because come July, August, it's so hot that you either have to get out there real early and go. So the weather was perfect.
Well, it is literally, I'll tell you what, I'm in southern Arizona. So okay. I went out and I was on the golf course at 7:30 this morning. It was already 90 degrees.
Yeah. So
Then you were, Austin. Now I went to Houston and y'all can keep that weather.
Yeah. The humidity?
It was the humidity was one of them. And then we went to a golf course and it wasn't, and I know it didn't represent Texas golf, but it was pretty bad. It was not good. Right outside of, I think it was right outside of Dallas.
Okay.
Because we were there for the Ravens and Dallas Cowboy game. So it was, man, it just wasn't good. So, but I know that does not represent Texas golf. I know there's some beautiful golf courses there.
Yeah. I mean, there's Avery Ranch in Austin is also beautiful. My home course is, I probably don't even want to say it because they might get mad at me, but it's it's about 20 minutes from my house. It's called Lago Vista. It is shit, but they're doing such a good job of trying to maintain the greens, and I think they've got more folks coming out. But so I go because I can always get a tee time. I'm not very good, it's convenient. But then I have another course very close to me called Crystal Falls that is actually really great and really beautiful. It's hard because it's got a lot of elevation and a lot of water. So I take a lot of balls, but those are sort of my two and then I've been trying to venture out, and try new courses as I can.
Yeah, my home course isn't the best either. It's only 3 miles from my house, but I'm lucky. I literally have 4 golf courses within 3.5 miles from my house. Now, two par threes and 2 full. My home course, it's not the best, but they support me. I don't pay for range balls or anything like that. They give me huge discounts.
Oh, that's nice.
All that kind of thing. So they do hook me up, and that's where my golf pro's at, my golf instructor is at, and everything. So again, it's not the best, but they just take such good care of me out there that
Yeah. Well, then maybe scratch me naming my local.
No, you said it. It's out there.
You can edit that.
I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your course that you always wanted to play on?
Oh, I don't know that I have. My father-in-law and my brother-in-law did Pebble Beach a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, listen, would I love to go and golf something like that? Absolutely. I don't know that I don't know that I've thought enough about it because I'm so focused on sort of the minutia of the game right now that, so yeah, I don't have a great answer for you there.
Pebbles, that's pretty nice. That would be a nice one. For me, it would be the old course in Scotland Scotland for sure.
Oh yeah.
And, Torrey Pines. Now I golfed Torrey Pines like 20 some odd years ago. First time I ever held a club in my entire life was at Torrey Pines, and it was one of those deals where it was a work deal, and our company sent us over there and to golf. And I never golfed before, and so I didn't appreciate what it was or anything because I really didn't know. So all I knew that Tiger Woods was there practicing, and he had just like all these security guards and stuff around him the whole time, and but that's back when he was playing in his prime as well. So, or just starting out or something like that. But he was pretty well known still. But what would be your best advice to a new female golfer?
I guess just be comfortable being uncomfortable. I know that's probably easier said than done, but everybody had to start somewhere. We all were in that position at one point in time where it just feels like you don't belong or you don't know all the rules. And everybody that I've met on the course has always been super supportive, and they understand like you're a beginner. And so everyone does a pretty good job of taking you under their wing. I think you have to be able to put yourself out there. And it's uncomfortable at first, but that feeling subsides quickly because you realize that the game is just so fun and so much more than about the game. It's about the people that golf. It's about the people that you meet on the course. It's about the sounds. It's about the colors. It's about all of it. And so I think just, be okay being uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good one. That is, because there's a lot of times when we are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started playing, I went over to San Diego, and I was at the Navy's course, and there was a group of 3 dudes golfing. They were just buddies, just golfing, and I was the fourth, I was that single fourth guy that sucked. And I remember I teed it up, I just sliced the shit out of the ball, like bad. And I was like,
jitters.
And the guys were super cool, man. They're like, how long have you been playing for? And I was like 4 months, something like that. And he goes, you hit the ball that far? You only been playing for 4 months? And he goes, but again, it was, they were very supportive. They helped me. One was a high school golf coach. So, they helped me. It was like a free lesson for 18 holes.
Yeah.
And, we had a blast, man. I bought them beer and stuff because I knew that I was sucking. So, I bought them beer, and I bought us beers and stuff. And, and we had a blast. We absolutely had a blast, learned a lot. And, I was very fortunate because, I could have gotten 3 assholes that it could have been a very long day.
Well, I think that's the intimidating thing too, right? Like, you don't know who you're going to get paired up with. I will say that just 2 days ago, I went golfing and it was two of us. We got paired up with two others, and they left after the 16th hole because they were so drunk. And so we were just like, okay, great. We get the last three by ourselves, but you never know. They were great. They were very kind. But just, so you never know what you're going to get. And I think it's just kind of going in there with an open mind.
Right. For sure. For sure, man. This has been awesome, man. Thank you for coming on. Got to know a little bit more about you and your golf journey. Keep doing what you're doing. Love your content. The title is what got me. It's the Swings and Sass was when I was looking through. I was like, all right, what's this all about? It was a very catchy name for sure. The content's funny.
Thank you.
And that's what it's about, right? We're out here just having a good time, trying to, follow our golf journey, but also kind of entertain as well. Put people a smile on their face because maybe they're having a shitty day, and if your shitty swing puts a smile on their face, then I guess you did your job for the day, right?
Yeah, I try not to take myself too seriously in life and in general, but definitely not in golf.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking time out of your summer vacation up in Washington. And I probably took you away from your golf game this morning. But Washington's really nice weather right now, so you can actually go out this afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
Where I can't. I could, but I would die of a heat stroke.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. Well.
So, again, man, thank you for coming on. And I'm going to end this podcast like I end all of mine. Just remember, you're not good enough to get pissed off. So until next time, you all take care and God bless.
Thank you.